Hi everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook process video, and thank you for joining me again today. This is going to be a pretty quick little layout. I am following a sketch, and I do apologize that I don't have that sketch. I didn't show you. I don't even know why I didn't think to show you. And I don't know, it is a page maps sketch again, but I don't know what month or anything. So originally I had put these layouts that I'm doing together with some sketches and put them in with this collection, and my plan was to take them to a crop. And when I pulled this out to do it for my monthly celebration video, I figured I might as well go ahead and continue with these layouts. So I didn't think that I would need these sketches or to show you guys, because I didn't think that these would be anything that I recorded. And I also apologize because there are no still shots at the end of this video. To be honest, I actually forgot that I did this layout, and until I was uploading my other video that I just did a voiceover for, and then I realized, oh yeah, I have that one. I totally forgot about it. So I'm cutting down 3 strips of pattern paper, and that is how they have them in the sketch. And I am going to ink all the edges with my my brown Close to My Heart ink. And I'm picking out a background page now. So the main part of the layout is going to be the 3 pattern paper strips there. And I couldn't decide. I've been trying to use something other than my white cardstock backgrounds just to get some things used up. So what you can probably see here is this red and brown paper. This is Echo Park. They're double-sided, and each side has a different color on it. For a while there, I was buying the coordinating packs, for Echo Park, and for Close to My Heart, I was buying the coordinating cardstock for the kits that I was using. And I've now realized that I don't need to. First of all, I have enough cardstock that I don't know why I was buying more. I should definitely be able to find a piece of cardstock that matches. So I've stopped doing that. It is nice to have the special cardstock or paper that's made to match, just because it is Echo Park, so it's going to be the same color green or brown or yellow, but like I said, I should be able to find something, and I don't want, and what I've also found is that I'm not using enough of those up to justify it. So I feel like I'm just adding to my cardstock collection. So it's not really cardstock, that it's more of a pattern paper that you can add on. The Close to My Heart that I've ordered is a cardstock, which is nice because at least their cardstock, their colors usually stay the same for quite a while. But so I can use those with other collections, but this is a good example. I've just decided that I'm not going to purchase these extra things. And if I do need something to mat a border in, excuse me, if I do need something to mat, like a photo or something on, or the entire layout, then like I said, again, I should be able to find something in my cardstock. And if I can't, then it's not meant to be. So but this is back from when I was still ordering those extra cardstocks and papers. So I really wanted to, knowing that I didn't want to put this collection back with all these extra just solid pattern papers, I wanted to use one for my background. So I decided to, I think I'm going to go with the green. There's some greens in the photo, so I really wanted to use the green, and I wasn't real crazy about the way that the brown looked. Behind this owl paper is a wood grain, and I would have loved to use that wood grain for the background, but I fell in love. I flipped it over and I saw that owl paper, and oh, I knew I was going to use the owl paper right away. I might still use some of the wood grain paper because it's a really pretty wood grain, and I've used some of the owls on here, but I knew I wanted to use some of the owls. So these are pictures from the pumpkin patch we used to go to. It might be the same day. I think it actually is the same day from many of the other pumpkin patch pictures that I've done lately. And these are just some more fun ones. They have these little, posts where you stick your head through and then you take some pictures. So unfortunately, this pumpkin patch started to go downhill and their pumpkins weren't very good. So we haven't been there in a couple of years and just found out that it's closing. So I feel kind of bad because it used to be a lot of fun. There was a train ride that you could ride. So basically they had like this tiny little lake. It was like, I don't know if it was natural or man-made, but it was, kind of small, but you'd get on a boat and it would kind of take you over to the pumpkin patch area, which was close enough to walk. It was just an extra fun element. And then for the way back, you would ride a train back with your pumpkin, and there was face painting and just different things. They had a corn maze. So I was sad to hear that they actually closed down recently, or are going to close down. But I definitely have a lot of photos to scrapbook. I have not scrapbooked a lot of Halloween and kind of fall photos, so I'm happy to be getting some of these done. So these are just 3 photos. This is, again, just those sign things you stick your head through and you get a picture. There's a picture of me and my mom, my 2 boys, and my daughter and my husband in a couple of them. So I decided to pop up a couple of the photos. So I took the one of my boys, I believe, and it's popped up, and I used my thicker foam tape this time for that for the one photo that's already glued down. I wanted a lot of dimension on this layout, and I don't always, well, I'm also trying to use up some of my foam tape. I have all these little squares, and I just want to be able to buy the rolls. The rolls are so much easier. You can see me here. This video is sped up, and I'm still trying to glue these on. I forgot I had purchased these little circle ones at some Creating Keepsakes convention one time, and these are the thinner size, but man, they're kind of annoying. If you're using them for small elements, it's not a bad thing, but I don't have any other rolls to use behind my photos, so I had to put a whole bunch. And yeah, it kind of took, like I said, this is sped up, and this is still how long it took me. So this one has kind of the smaller foam dots, and then for this last photo, I'm just going to glue it down flat to the page. So I'm glad that I did this, although when I went to use this first element, what I found here was this chipboard branch, and it just goes perfectly beside this photo, other than the fact that I am going to even have to pop up this chipboard. And sometimes I don't like to do that because that seems like a little bit too much dimension to me, but I decided I really liked it. This owl just fit perfectly here. It fit perfectly on the branch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of that same thick foam tape just below on the bottom parts of the branch, and then add some wet glue to the tops of the branch to get it to help stick to the photo. And I'm going to do the same with the owl so that the owl can sit on it. And I love how well that fit, and I got to use that owl, and you guys know me, I love birds and owls. So, and not only that, but that really brings over the owls from that owl pattern paper. So I really liked it. You can see again that I used the brown strips that are next to the yellow are more of the peel-offs. So I'm really having fun playing with those. These were nice because I tucked the meeting parts where the 2 strips met. Actually, I didn't even meet them together on this layout because I didn't need to, because I hid all of that behind the photo. I knew the photo was going to go there, so I didn't worry about making the strips span the whole page. But you know from my peel-offs video that they work anyway. Even if you do have to put them together and can't put them on anything, it still looks really good. So I was a little unsure after I did it that it was a little too brown, but it looks okay in the end, so I'm okay with that. I was going to add more clusters around, obviously, that's the next step. So I found these 3 banners, and you guys know me, again, I struggle with banners, but so they're just lightly sitting there. They are chipboard, but luckily the chipboard is about the same height as the pop dots that went under that second photo there. So I have them sitting there for now because I thought what a great place to try to use them, but I just wasn't sold on having them there. However, when I put these leaf stickers there, I thought, okay, that's going to help fill up and make more of a cluster so that the banners aren't the main part of the cluster, and that will help. And so that cluster does come together in the end, and really I like the way that it looks. So now what I have is I have down at the bottom of the page a pumpkin sitting there. You can see, I believe it is a chipboard piece. And so I thought, you know, we're at the pumpkin patch, and I was planning on maybe using that pumpkin in the bottom. So I looked, and there was more pumpkin stickers. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll add a pumpkin in each cluster. And that kind of just brings in the whole aspect of us being at the pumpkin patch, even though in these pictures there's no pumpkins or anything like that. So, but it still is, represents the fact that we were at the pumpkin patch. So, and I really liked the way that the pumpkin kind of sat there and the leaves kind of came out from around it. I liked that. It really filled in that cluster. It made those banners look not so prominent on there. And then the one thing I am disappointed with this collection is you can see those alphabet stickers there, the little square ones. There's no numbers, and darn it, I love it when those have numbers. And I think I mentioned that in another video that I wish those would have had numbers, but I wanted to use more of those because I really like the brown. Especially the orange is perfect too, but I really like that brown. It's kind of like a wood grainy distressed type of brown. It's not just a solid brown. So instead of putting the full date on this layout, all I did was I put October, so OCT for October, and then I took my roller date stamp and I just took the year, which I think is 2015, and I put just the year. So it doesn't have the exact date, but I do know also that I have more photos and more layouts from this same pumpkin patch trip, that this will just be in with all of those other layouts. So it doesn't really matter to me that it doesn't have the exact date at this point. And then off camera, I played around with a few alphabets. I started to use the foam white thicker alphabet that I've been using a little bit of lately, and I just couldn't get it to fit. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to use up more of these alphabet stickers that came with the collection. So I think it says Fun at the Pumpkin Patch or something like that. I can't remember the title, and I can't see it. My screen's smaller. So but that worked. It made just a small title, and it brought a little bit more of that orange color around. So the last part that I did struggle with, which is why I'm doing it last, is this bottom cluster. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to put this bottom cluster by the bottom photo or down here on the bottom. But I did end up going ahead and adding it. I knew I wanted to add a pumpkin because, again, I was trying to get that pumpkin into every cluster, and you can see I just added a little pumpkin sticker by the owl's feet, and then I added one of these acorn stickers into each cluster. And I wanted to add one with the owl, and I played around a little bit, and I finally decided that I like it. Actually, it almost looks like the owl is hiding the acorn behind his back. So when I put it there, I decided to just go ahead with that, and I like the way that turned out. So this is a fairly simple layout. It went pretty quickly. I'm playing around with these gold epoxy enamel foam, I don't know, stickers, the gold Close to My Heart stickers that I actually ended up using in another layout. And I just didn't like the fact that there was only one for each cluster. And gold just didn't seem like something that went well with this page. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. So I'm going to take my enamel dots instead and add 3 in each cluster area. And I'm using 3 different colors and just kind of placing them around. Sometimes when I do the enamel dots, I like to play around with where I have them. And sometimes they're close together and sometimes they're not. So this is basically going to be the layout, and I hope that you guys like this layout. Like I said, it was a very quick layout and it was a lot of fun, and it's a super simple and easy one. So I hope you like it, and I think that's all there is really to say about it. Oh, I am going to take some Nuvo drops and I'm going to test out a few. I have a couple different brown colors that I've never used before, but I decided to be very daring, and I'm going to add just a couple drops on top of the owl's eyes just to give a little bit of interest. So that is the layout, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.